Alright, so recently I just started playing this game as of a few months ago. As you can see, not really a few months ago, more or less a month ago now. But I figured I would try and make a video to help explain some things for some of the newer players in the game that could use some assistance with trying to be as efficient as possible within this game. So I'll start off with just the home screen here. The tournaments here are usually really good for earning stones and gems and stuff. So whenever you'll be starting off, you'll be in copper, and you want to try and rank as high as possible to get as many stones. Now, I'll get into stones and gems later, and as far as what they do, but so once you get up to about silver or gold or so, you'll notice that it's going to be a lot harder to compete with everyone else, and you may be ranking somewhere down here below 10th or so. It is smart for you to purposefully quit the tournament early around wave 1 or so, just so that you can go back down to copper and try and get some of these higher rewards. Because if you think about it, within 2 tournaments, if you're able to place, let's say, fourth, you'll get 15 stones and 60 gems, and then you'll get another 2 and 10. So you'll get a total of around 17 stones and 70 gems. Whereas if you were just stuck in, let's say, rank 11 or 12, if you were to sit around there for 2 tournaments in a row, you're only going to be getting 20 stones and 80 gems. So you do better by dropping down, trying to get as high as possible, and then dropping down again, and then just trying to just keep that cycle going. That way, you're able to maximize the amount of stones that you're getting from these tournaments. Now, what are stones? What do stones do? Well, stones allow you to unlock the most powerful weapons, defense, and utility within the game. These ultimate weapons here. Okay. Ultimate weapons are very, very important, and they allow you to get more coins and stuff like that, depending on which one you use. But as a new player, it is crucial for you to get the Golden Tower as your first ultimate weapon. I would not recommend continuing your game if you don't get the Golden Tower. If you don't get the Golden Tower on your first ultimate weapon pick, you'll have 3 ultimate weapons to choose from. And if one of those is not the Golden Tower, I recommend restarting the game completely until you get an account where this Golden Tower is the um, the first one that you get. Now, as you progress, you'll end up buying more ultimate weapons. Ideally, you would want the Golden Tower first, Black Hole second, and then you would want the Spotlight ultimate weapon, which I don't have, third. Then you would want Death Wave as your fourth one, which is another one that I don't have. And then after that, you can go for something like Smart Missiles or something that'll give you more damage. Now, this is also a very, very important note. You see how my cooldown for my Golden Tower and Black Hole are at 3 minutes, okay? You do not want to have these two ultimate weapons going off at the same time. And what I mean by that is whenever you first get the Golden Tower, its cooldown will be 5 minutes, okay? The Black Hole will have a cooldown of 3 minutes and 20 seconds, okay? So for every third Golden Tower, or for every second Golden Tower, every, yes, so by your second Golden Tower, it would have been 10 minutes throughout the round, okay? And by those 10 minutes, your black hole will be coming up for the third time, and those two will go off at the same time. Now, black hole has a unique ability where if you go into your labs, and I'll get into labs later, black hole will allow you to have a coin multiplier on top of it. So if we come down here, see black hole coin bonus, you can upgrade this within your lab and get a higher multiplier for all the enemies that are killed within the black hole. So if you have a golden tower bonus of 16.1, which this I've upgraded it. Let's just say you've got a multi of 10, okay, and then that goes off, your golden tower goes off the same time as your black hole, and let's say you have a 5 times black hole multi, well, you're going to be getting 50 times the amount of coins for each kill because it is multiplicative with each one of these. So that is huge, guys. That is crucial. You want to make sure that your cooldowns are as efficient as possible, and you ideally want to have them to where they're going off at the same time, but early on, you're going to have a partial sync, like I just mentioned earlier, with 5-minute cooldown here and 3 minutes and 20 seconds down here with the black hole. You'll have a partial sync, and you eventually want to save up enough stones to where you can upgrade your golden tower cooldown down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds and get these two at the same time. But I would not advise um, upgrading the cooldown until you have enough stones to get it down to the 3 minute and 20-second count. I wouldn't upgrade it from 5 minutes down to 4 minutes and 50 seconds and then 440. I wouldn't do that over time. I would want to do that all at once and get it down to 320. That way you can at least have a partial sync until you have the stones accumulated to get it down to that 3 minute and 20-second cooldown. So I know a bunch of y'all may be asking me, well, how many stones do you need for that cooldown? I'm going to put a link in the description of this video that has a ton of useful guides that will you can click on and um, basically get a bunch of helpful information for this game. So let's go back to this. Your missions here, your events, okay? I think these happen about every 2 weeks. You have events, and you have these missions that will come up, okay? And these missions will give you medals. Now, this isn't the only way to get medals. You can also get medals from daily missions and from these little boxes up here. Once you've completed these boxes, they'll give you a bunch of more medals. But um, with the medals, you can end up going to the event shop and buying these things, okay? These themes, okay? It is crucial that every single event you get both themes because these coin multipliers are additive. So every single time you get these skins here, the tower and background skin, these are all additive. So if we go to my total coin bonus, you can see my theme bonus is times 1.048. That's because I've accumulated themes over the past month or so of playing, that every single event I've gotten the themes, and this will add up over time for you playing, which is huge. Okay, you want to get as many coins as possible, that way you can upgrade more things in your workshop. Okay, now early on you'll be struggling a lot as far as knowing, okay, what do I upgrade in my workshop um, to keep up with tier 1. And what I mean by tier 1 is this difficulty level here. I mean, it goes all the way up to, I believe, 15. I'm at 12 currently. But as you go on with tiers, you'll get higher coin multipliers. But generally speaking, it's best for you to stay in tier 1 early on to accumulate the most amount of coins. Even though your multiplier is the lowest, you are able to get a lot further in tier 1 than you would, let's say, tier 2 or tier 3. And the difficulty jump between tier 1 to tier 2 is the largest within the game. So it's a very big jump, and it's very difficult to farm tier 2 versus tier 1. But so let's get into different upgrades here. And I know a lot of these may look foreign to you just because I have gone through and unlocked a bunch of these. So the most important thing for you early on in tier 1 is going to be this bad boy right here, your defense absolute. I've got mine upgraded to 225,000. So if an enemy does 224,000 damage and it hits me, they will not do any damage because my defense absolute is higher than their amount of damage. But if two enemies with 224,000 damage hit me, then I would take damage. You see how that works? So this defense absolute, you can generally use this very early on in tier 1 to not take any damage, and it's super, super helpful. Another thing is your defense percentage, okay? So with a 75% defense percentage, if the enemy does 100,000 damage to me, and let's say this defense absolute number is 0 here, if they do 100,000 damage and I have a 75% reduction, well, they would only deal 25,000 to my tower, not the 100,000. So that's how defense percentage works, and this is huge. This is very important early on. Now, another important upgrade is, of course, going to be your damage and attack speed. Okay, these two are very crucial early on, um, and very, very helpful. But generally speaking, your defense is what's going to be holding you together for the first 100 wave or first few 100 waves or so of tier 1. And eventually, once you surpass that, your defense absolute is going to be hard to keep up with the amount of damage they're doing, and that's when you want to switch over and start upgrading much more of your health. Your health is the total amount of health that you've got um, for your tower, and generally, if you add health and defense percentage, these two will allow you to stay alive for a long time. Health regen is pretty useless until later on in the game, so I wouldn't really recommend health regen early on. But your health is very important once you get past those few hundred waves, and also your damage, attack speed, and then you can also throw in some money as well to your crit chance factor, um, and damage meter and stuff. Okay, so let's get to attack range. This here, generally speaking, you want to keep low early on in the game. So the further this attack range is, means the more enemies that are going to be within your tower's range, and it's going to be harder for your tower to keep up in general with the amount of enemies because its range is bigger. So you generally want to keep this range smaller. That way, ranged enemies can't hit you from further away. The ranged enemies can only hit you within your tower's range. So as long as you keep this smaller, you should be good. Damage per meter is also another really important upgrade, because the further the enemies are away from your tower, the more damage you'll be able to do to them. Multi-shot chance and targets. These are other really good upgrades, but um, for now, let's just focus on the basics. So, thorn damage, okay? Every time an enemy hits your tower, you can deal thorn damage. So, let's say I have this thorn damage, and let's say I'm going to upgrade this to 21%. Well, 21 times 5, what is that, 105? So you would be dealing 105% of the enemy's health if they were to hit you 5 times, okay? Let's say you were to do 26%. Well, then it would only take 4 hits for enemies to die. 34%, it would only take 3 hits. 51%, it will only take 2 hits. That's how thorn damage works. Now, it only deals 50% damage to bosses. So if you've got 51% thorn damage, it's going to take 4 hits for bosses to die, not 2, because of that 50% reduction. Lifesteal. Lifesteal is huge. Lifesteal is very, very important and allows you to regen your health from damaging the enemies, and this is very, very important early on. Same with knockback chance and knockback force. You want those enemies off of your tower and away from them, and by you having knockback chance and force, it helps to do that. Orbs. This will be your early game damage, early on. These are what's going to be giving you most of your damage, okay? You can go and check out your stats during your run, and generally speaking, orbs will be doing the most, okay? These are very, very important. They one-shot everything except for elites and bosses. So these are super, super helpful and will get you pretty far in the game. Now, I know a bunch of y'all are probably wondering, well, what should I unlock first? Should I unlock thorn damage before unlocking attack range and damage meter? I generally say that early on defense is really important. So if you want, unlock thorn, life steal first, and then go ahead and switch over to attack range and damage meter. And remember, don't upgrade this, just upgrade your damage meter, and then so on. So in this game, there are a few milestones that really help out a bunch. Okay, and I haven't really gone into utility upgrades much, but early on, your cash per wave and coins per wave are super helpful, but after you get past a few hundred waves or so, this becomes pretty useless, and you want to switch over to your coin per kill bonus, okay, and then your cash bonus per kill, because you'll be killing a lot more enemies than waves, so these two are super helpful here, this cash bonus and coins per kill. But there are some upgrades in this game that just help boost you to a whole nother level, okay, and I'm going to help y'all out and try and guide y'all and figure out which ones y'all want to reach first. So utility, these free attack or these free upgrades here are super helpful to unlock. So by you upgrading these um, free upgrades here, it allows you to instantly get free upgrades throughout your run. So if I have a 10% chance to get a free attack upgrade, one in every 10 rounds, one of these attack upgrades here will be upgraded at random. So this adds up throughout your run, and these are very important to unlock whenever you can. The next thing that boosts you a super duper Cooper amount would be these three right here: recovery amount, max recovery, and packet chance. So whenever you have these unlocked, um, what happens is at the end of every round you have a chance to get delivered a package. And all these packages are extra health on top of your base health that you have here. So if I have a base health of 12 million here, and I have a packet that drops, let's see, my max recovery is times 2.4. So over, let's say over 10 or 20 packages, um, I will eventually receive health added on top of this health here. And it's basically just like a whole nother health bar that you have, which is super helpful and helps out a lot early game and just kind of gives you more health in general. So these are huge. Now a little bit later, once you end up earning enough coins, this enemy level skip is huge. I know once you reach this part in the game to have 1 billion coins, I had saved up about 4 or 5 days whenever I first bought this. I know it's saying I don't have it right now. It's because I had respec my workshop for a strategy in the game. But this enemy level skip is super helpful, and you want to be prioritizing this as soon as possible. I saved up a week to be able to unlock this, and basically enemy level skips, all it is it's a percent chance every round that the enemy's health or enemy's attack won't be upgraded. So every single wave that you go throughout the game, your enemies scale up, and this gives you a chance that every wave they won't scale. So this is really helpful, and let's say you're getting to wave 5,000 on tier 1. Well, if you unlock this, your next run, by the time you get to wave 5,000, your enemy stats might only be at wave 4,000 because you've had 1,000 level skips. So you do this does extend your runs a lot, and it's super helpful. Now, as far as defense upgrades that are super useful, landmines really don't do much for you, and then the one after that, the wall, isn't helpful until much later within the game. So I don't recommend upgrading either two of those. I would stay at this point that I'm at right now in my workshop, and just make sure you're getting as many orbs as you can, and orb speed is really nice as well. And as far as damage, that's super good. Um, Really nothing stands out too much here besides your multi-shot targets is obviously good, hitting as many enemies as you can, along with rapid fire, and then bounce shot and stuff like that is also super good. So just all these are around the same as far as how useful they are, but they are very useful within your runs. So let's move on to cards. So Early on, this is going to be one of the ways that you can spin your gems, but I don't recommend spinning your gems on this quite yet. You want to unlock all 5 of these lab slots first, okay? This is going to be the most important. Labs are basically ways for you to go and upgrade your tower over time and invest time into them and a little bit of coins as well, and will give you a boost with your tower and other things as well. And just um, this is a huge, huge part of the game and probably one of the most important things. So you'll start off with just the 1 lab. You want to unlock all the way to 5th lab as soon as possible. I know it's a lot of gems, but if you can save up those gems and get all 5 labs going, that's going to be huge and help you out a lot in the long run. So you may be wondering, well, what should I prioritize on within the lab? First things first, you want to be maxing this guy out right here, your game speed, okay? The faster your game speed goes, the more runs you'll be able to end up running because the games are going faster and they won't take as long. So this is very important right here. The next thing that I would recommend is upgrading your lab speed. This is going to make it to where the time spent on upgrading everything in your lab gets reduced. So this overall, you want to have this going at pretty much all times. The next thing I would recommend is probably your attack speed right here. And this is another very important one, which as you progress throughout the game, generally your attack speed, you're going to want to have that upgraded really, really high. So those first 3 things are very good. And then also too, I mean, you've got damage, which is a great thing to upgrade as well. Damage per meter, health, defense percent, defense absolute. All those are generally very, very good. So let's see, what else would I recommend? Light shots, light speed shots. This is a very, very good upgrade here, and I would upgrade that whenever you get the chance. Let's see what else. What else is really important? This perks. This is another huge, huge upgrade here. This is probably one of the most important upgrades for you to get. This and then enemy level skips down here are both very, very huge. So perks every 200 rounds or so. I believe it's every 200 rounds. There are 3 different options that you can choose from within your runs, and they can be upgrades as far as, let's see, you can get more damage, you can get more coins, more max health, orbs, free upgrade chance. There's a bunch of really, really nice upgrades that you can unlock during your runs through perks. So this is huge. I would recommend upgrading this as soon as you can get this. And a bunch of y'all might not even have perks available yet. And generally, these are upgraded through the lab here, which you can see um, at Wave 30, Tier 1, you unlock the lab. And here you unlock events and tournaments. I would try and get these unlocked as soon as possible because these are huge, huge resources throughout the game. Lab speed, you want to get this done as soon as possible, guys. You want to unlock this as soon as possible and start working on this. More round stats. That's more or less something that you can upgrade towards as you progress throughout the game, just to see what kind of stats you're getting in the labs. Let's see what else here. This is where you unlock perks right here. Tier 2, wave 150 through this milestone. And milestones is another thing that I haven't really covered yet, but every tier has its own milestone, and you can either pay for these rewards here on the right or not. But early on, it's pretty useful to be going through as many tiers as you can and unlocking these milestones. So that way you can be getting more gems, unlock next tiers, and the higher tier that you have unlocked, the better your your mission rewards will be. And this is one thing that I didn't understand or know for the longest time, but the higher tier that you are, the better rewards you'll end up having from missions, which is super, super helpful early on. So, yep, I highly recommend going and trying to push as many tiers as you can. As you can see, I've gotten all the way to tier 12 and I'm kind of stuck here around wave 20 or so, but this is really, really important to end up trying to get the most out of your game early on. So cards, back to cards. So once you have all 5 lab slots unlocked, um, I would recommend spending your gems towards your cards and trying to unlock all the different cards and get them upgraded all the way till majority of your cards are about 5-star, as you can see right here. I've got a bunch of them 5-star, some are still 4, but you also will want to end up investing in about 10 or 8 to 10 card slots. As you can see, I have 12, but 8 to 10 is usually pretty good because all these different cards will give you upgrades throughout your game and are super useful. Now, once you're at the point that I'm at where you've got about 5 stars here and about 8 to 10 card slots, you'll want to start spending your gems on these modules here. These modules are super, super helpful. They all have sub effects underneath them, and some of them, these special ones here, these special epic ones, you can end up getting unique effects. Now, I wanted to show y'all this here. These are all the different unique epic weapons that you can end up unlocking. And as you can see, there's some of these here that are super, super helpful that can give you a bunch of resources moving on within the game, such as like, let's look at Galaxy Compressor. Every time you receive a recovery package, the cooldown of all your ultimate weapons will drop. So this is super useful whenever you're running, let's say you're running your Golden Tower and Black Hole. Well, every time you get a recovery package, this cooldown will drop, and you'll have Golden Tower going a lot more frequently, which gets you more coins. So that's huge. And yeah, these modules are super, super helpful. And here's another image right here, just um, with the rarity of each module that you have and the upgrades or the effects rather that you can end up unlocking with those rarities. So let's say in my case, I've got an epic anti-cube portal here. So I can go to this picture here and look and say, okay, well I can get epic health, or not epic health, I'm sorry, epic defense percent, right? I can get 3%, or I can get +1 to my shockwave size, or um, +3% to landmine chance, that kind of stuff. So, um, yep, all those things are super useful. And then, as you can see, use this little information tab as far as understanding how these guys work and how you end up upgrading them, because the higher you can get these upgraded, the more effects that you end up having, and the higher these effects will be up here. Not your sub effects, but this main effect here. So if I end up upgrading this number here will go up, and that's generally helps out a bunch within your runs as well. So let's see if there's anything else that I can cover here. Not really much. If you'll have any questions or anything, you can definitely leave them in the comments, and I'll try and help and respond as best as I can to help y'all out. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else that y'all want explained in this game, and then maybe I can make another video or something trying to go over things to help y'all out. But that's going to be it, and thank you.